Hey, good, well, afternoon, I think. From inside the truck camper being fabricated here at the Redneck RV shop slash wood shop slash farm. Hope you're having a great day. You're really going to see how bad of a cameraman I am here. Get a little start on the inside. I'll step outside in a second, and I do have one more mess, let me tell you. But getting a start on some of the inside framing. Now the wires you see running there, that is wiring for 12 volt DC. I decided to put running lights on this thing, so I got amber running lights at the high, almost to the highest point in the front, one in each corner on the front there, and I got one in each rear corner that are red. I got 3 red amber running lights out there, and then on the outside, and I'll step out there in a second, I got brake lights, turn signals and all that on either side. It's not really going to cover mine up on the truck, but with the tailgate down, and you know, North Kakalaki, they ain't too bad anal about stuff like that, tags and things like that. I don't know about some of the other states. I know some states are just murder on any kind of motor vehicle issues, so I'm gonna put my license plate. You'll see that in a second. The one tail light we bought off Amazon, it has a license plate holder, so I can move the license plate up to the camper if I want to, just to stay, you know, above board. All the wiring you see in here, this is all wiring. I am an electrician, so you know, if anybody wants to make comments about my shoddy wiring job, whatever. This is 12 volt DC wiring. Every connection in here is soldered. There is no twist connections, no crimp connections, none of that hogwash. It's all soldered. Took me a while to do it. I hadn't had the old soldering iron out in a while, but all connections are soldered. This wire, yes, it is standard stranded 14 gauge building wire rated for 1,000 volts. So we're not worried about it. It's going to be just fine. It will not be overloaded. So, you know, let's not worry about any of that. And you hear my dogs out there growling. I don't know what's got into them boys. I think Roxy is coming in heat. And you know what that does to the boys, right? Anyway, just want to let you see I'm starting in the wing over to put the foam in. I'm going to cut it to fit in each one of these things. I went ahead and filled this out. That'll be the insulation. The water tank is in there. I lobbied for a 15 to 20 gallon tank to save room. My bride overrode me and wanted 30. I think she's going to find that that's overkill, but that's okay. You know, after 34 years of marriage and almost 36 years being together, raising 4 kids to adulthood, you learn to pick your battles, and some things just aren't worth an argument. The only real issue it's causing, it adds a little bit of weight if it's full, but I don't plan on hauling it with 30 gallons of water in it in the first place. I'll put a drain in it so I can drain it out before I take, or part of it before I take off with it. So, you know, it won't be that big a deal. The biggest issue for me is it eat up more room than I wanted it to, so I got to figure out something else for my batteries. The solar panel is going to go on top on the front of the flat part of the roof there. So, and I somewhere up here I'll put a charge controller. Back here there's going to be a little electrical space. I'm going to have an inverter and all that stuff. There's going to be a refrigerator. There's going to be a sink in the corner there, a little kitty corner sink. There's going to be a nice propane oven. Again, I was just going to put like a cooktop or something like that, keep it simple, but my wife wanted an oven, and we found one a gentleman had who him and his wife actually, he's retired from the corporate world, and him and his wife actually have a business down eastern part of North Carolina, not that far from here, where they actually remodel campers and resell them. And man, he does some great work. And this was a little propane oven and cooktop that he took out of a camper, and he sold it to us for a great price. We also got the refrigerator from him. So it's going to be a little nicer, a little more upscale than I originally intended it to be, you know, in my redneck mind. But, you know, my wife, she keeps me grounded sometimes and keeps me a little bit more in touch with culture. If that's possible. Anyhow, so anyway, I just want to show you that. I know it's a mess. I just had the vacuum cleaner clean out all this mess, but I'm in the process of putting the foam insulation in, all that. And I'll do so on this side, and then I'll get a piece of the 5mm plywood, and then we'll build from there. As you can see, that will be a window. It's currently still got the painted canvas. That will be a window. That eventually will be a window, and of course that will be a window. I went ahead and cut the canvas out of that one before I was thinking. But anyway, we've had several heavy rains and hadn't had any leakage at all. I'm very happy with that. I'm still going to put probably at least one more coat of the exterior paint on the roof. So far, I've put about 3.5 gallons of paint on the exterior of this thing. And I still got a good bit of work to do under the cab over with the canvas instead. Yeah, that was a pain and it did not go well. I tried a different technique and it's a flop in my opinion. I'll not do that again. I'm going to have to do a little bit of redo work under the cab over. But fortunately, that's not in the weather. So hadn't leaked a drop to the roof. I am going to put probably at least one more coat of exterior grade paint on it. And I think on top of that, once that's cured good, I am going to put a coat of that silver roof stuff to reflect some of the heat, because yeah, we all know how that works. Anyway, let's go outside. And, you know, trust me, those are good wiring connections. All soldered up with heat shrink tubing, good heavy, 14 gauge wire. All the lighting is LED, so very low amperage draw for any of you guys that are sitting there wondering about all that stuff. And yes, I plugged it in. And let me step out the ladder here. Well, hello, Roscoe. Hello, Mr. Roscoe. How are you this morning? Yeah, all my stuff got rained on. I'm going to do a little work here. This is where I had to lap it. I think I'm going to take a little body filler and try and smooth that out. Of course, it'll get a door here, some kind of steps. But there's a tail light. That one's actually got a, actually has a license plate holder. Same over there. There's the 3 red running lights up there. And that right there is actually a nice little LED 12-volt light, an exterior light I'll put on a switch. And here is, I wired a trailer plug into this, and I've got a 5-foot plug that'll go down and it'll plug into my 4-way. A lot of people use a 7-pin, and I thought about that, but it was way more expensive. And in my case, I'm not going to use DC charging from my vehicle. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because A, I'm going to have 365 watts of solar, and there is another cool little exterior light up on the side. Red running light, amber running light. And you see here, I'm having a little trouble with this. This has got to be redone. I'm not happy with that at all. Then up on top there, there's 3 amber running lights. Come around here. Again, there's an amber running light and a red one in the corner back there if you can see it.